ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणा ब्रह्मणस्पतमानश्चिन्मन्नो दिविश्रीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजिनीवती नीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्
तच्छन्योरावृणीमहे
गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजम् शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यधिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलम् पुरुष एवेदगुं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उदामृतत्वस्येषानः यदन्येनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो जायादुश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादोऽध्वपुरुषः पादोऽस्येह
What's happening? Yeah, hello. There is no synchrony in chanting. Let's all focus. Sahasrasirusha Purusha. Everybody, what happened to the male voices? Let's sing together. Om
सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यधिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलम् पुरुष एवेदगुं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उदामृतत्वस्येषानः यदन्नेनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो जायादुश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्ध्वपुरुषः
Yetavanasya Mahima, one more time. Yetava. Please chant slowly. Nobody is rushing us. Please chant. Connect to the word when we chant. And chant with intent. Not just chant for the sake of chanting. So when you slow down, you will get it perfectly. You can't get onto a bicycle and start biking at 20 miles per hour right off the bat. You have to first balance yourself, isn't it? So let's chant Etavanasya Mahima. Etavanasya Mahima Ato Jayaduscha Purusha Tripadasya divi.
Tripadasya divi. Tripadasya divi. Udva udhai Purushaha Padosyeha
Bhavat punaha. What? Not confident, huh? Not confident. Huh? Okay. That why you won't be confident is because if you come to Sunday only to practice what you learned last Sunday, that's how it is. And I'm sure you are all not doing that. You're practicing all this week. Yes, I got to get this right. So when I go back next Sunday, I'll be chanting so perfectly. It'll be perfect, right? No. What we do is, we learn on Sunday and we also practice on Sunday. What happens in between the 1 week? We are very careful with our kids. Ennada, what's the homework you got today? Show me your homework. You want them to do homework as soon as they come from the school. What about our homework? This is homework for all of us. We learned something and we got to ruminate on this. You got the chant perfect. And how many of us seriously thought about what was discussed or contemplated in the last class? Except Meera. And she made sure that I don't let you guys clap for her because she said, don't make me feel like a small kid. Don't ask them to clap for me. But she did her homework. She went back, she sent me an email. This is what I think are the 20 plus things that were offered in the sacrificial fire. So, seriously, guys, this is an opportunity that you won't get anywhere in your lifetime, I can tell you. There is nobody that's going to teach these things in a practical spiritual application. Go check it out. I'm not kidding. Go check it out. It's a lifetime opportunity. And I'm not, talking with a chip on my shoulder or anything like that. Those people that actually teach you, they refuse to tell you the meaning of it. Because they say, Veda has no meaning, don't ask me for the meaning. But here, Bhagavan has given the opportunity not only to learn it correctly, but to understand what it means for our daily living, independent of your caste, your creed, your religion, your faith, your gender, your age. Anybody and everybody can connect to what we are discussing in this class. And that's only Bhagavan can do that, nobody else. So, if I am hard on you, it's for one reason. If I simply come here and I only blabber every Sunday and you don't take it seriously, it's not the intent of learning. Learning is an intersect between the listener and the talker. It's not a one-way street. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have any reason to come here and spend 1 more hour after 24 hours of chanting. And I don't even have a voice to speak. I do that because I get benefit from it, for a selfish reason. And it's very simple. When Bhagavan asks you to do some work, let me assure you, He wouldn't fail us. When Bhagavan is the one behind your learning these mantras, He wouldn't even let you sleep until you get it perfect. If you are working with your head, I can assure you, you will learn this and you will forget it, it will not have any context in your lives. So, please, whatever you learn every week, at least 2-3 times in a week, one time go back and practice exactly what was taught, intonation and pronunciation. At least once in a week, think about, oh, I heard what this means. Let me reflect on it. How do I connect to it? Doesn't matter what Shaker's perception is. How do I connect to it? What's the value I'm getting out of this? Why should I waste an hour of my time on my precious Sunday when the sun is shining outside in Sacramento. Why do I need to waste my time here? Right? Tripadurdhavudait Purushagam.
Tripadurdhavudait Purushaha. Tripadurdhavudait Purushaha.
You all learned this. I want you to chant it. Pado. What happened? What's going on today? Why everybody is not chanting? Come on. Are you all shy in front of newcomers? Okay, chant, please.
Tripadurdhavudait Purushaha. Padosyeha bhavat punaha. Tato vishvam vyakramat. Sashana shasane abhi. Tasmad virata jayata. Virajo adipurushaha. Sajato adyarichyata. Paschat bhumimato puraha. Yat purushena havisha. Deva yajnamatanvata. Vasanto asya sidhajyam. Grishma idmasharadavihi.
I didn't teach that. I didn't teach that. Okay. Is this scale high for all of you to chant? No breakfast today? Or usually you all chant with so much passion. Something is not working today. Maybe it's the scale. Saghas. Please chant. You don't have voice.
Sahasrashirsha Purushaha. Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva. Atyadishtadashangulam. Purusha Yevedagum Sarvam. Yat Bhutam Yat Chabhavyam. Utamritatvasyeeshanaha. Yadannenatirohati. Etavanasya mahima. Hato jaya guscha purushaha. Padosya vishvabhutani. Tripadasyaamritam divi. Tripadurdhavudait Purushaha. Padosyeha bhavat punaha. Tato vishvam vyakramat. Sasananasane abhi. Tasmad virata jayata. Virajo adipurushaha. Sajato atyarichyata. Paschat nimato punaha. Yat purushena havisha. Deva yajnamatanvata. Vasanto asya sidhajyam.
Vasanto asya sidhajyam.
Vasanto asya sidhajyam. Vasanto asya sidhajyam.
So that Vasanto asya sidhajyam.
Vasanto asya sidhajyam. Vasanto asya sidhajyam. Grishma idmasharadavihi.
Om
Shanti Shanti Shanti.
For those of you just joining, we are studying one of the most incredible hymns in the Vedas called Purusha Suktam. Suktam means the one that is very beautifully elaborated. Suktam means elaborated. Suktam means very beautifully elaborated. And this elaboration about this particular hymn is about what's called consciousness. Consciousness. Everybody in the universe can relate to what consciousness is, isn't it? In fact, Swami says it manifests in three ways. One is called conscious, the second component is called conscience, and the third is called consciousness. What is conscious? Conscious means, conscious is about what? Huh? Conscious about what? Body, correct. You're conscious about something. You're conscious that you didn't do your hairdo properly. You're conscious that you didn't wear the right clothing. You're conscious that you don't look good. Looking good is very important. That's about body. How you appear is conscious. What is conscience? Huh? Conscience is about what you are thinking, yeah. Something little deeper, inside, which you doesn't appear, but there is something that about you. You know that there is something hidden and it tries to respond. It tries like an alarm system. It tries to respond to certain things. And there is a third thing called consciousness. What is consciousness? That's the question. If you completely understood consciousness, we won't be studying Purusha Sukta. Consciousness is beyond the scope of instinct, beyond the scope of intuition. And this consciousness that we are talking about is called God. Period. Consciousness is God. You can call consciousness as God. Consciousness is being. Consciousness is everything. And from consciousness came everything. Right? That's what we were studying last class. And the analogy is, what was the analogy we talked about? Spider-Man. Yes. Spider-Man was the analogy. So, now, last week we said consciousness manifested into many beings, that is with latent energy and patent energy. Consciousness, like what's the examples we talk about? Latent and patent means what? Hello. Trisha, good morning. This one has consciousness, but in this, consciousness is latent. Right? This one has consciousness. It is too much patent. So, everything has this consciousness manifested. In some it is patent, in some it is latent. Now, all of this, what is manifested, is only a tiny part of this consciousness. A lot of it is not manifest even. That's what's referred to in Lalita Sahasranam as Vyakta Avyakta Swarupini. Vyakta means manifest, Avyakta means unmanifest embodiment. Now you can imagine now, once it manifested some things, in order to support what is manifested for all the living beings, is required what is to sustain those, what the divine consciousness, whether you call it God or not, has to create something and sacrifice it. And the creation of something and sacrificing is the Christ consciousness. And that's what's referred to as the Son of Consciousness. And that's what the mantra is not saying. That's what the mantra is saying, not what I am saying, right? What was the mantra that was saying? That from this consciousness came another embodiment, the Son of God. What's the mantra that's talking about? Hello. Tasmad virada jayata. Virajo adhi Purusha. Sa jato atyarichyata. Paschat bhumi madho puraha. Then what they did was, once this sun is created, then the divine being said, the sun sacrificed himself in the yajna to create lot of other things. That's what we were talking last week. Every week I won't repeat this because it's a very beautiful concept. It's an incredible concept that the purpose of a divine being, including a human, the only one reason why a human being is created is for sacrificing for the sake of others. Simple as that. It's, if you live a life of unsacrifice, let me tell you, we got to come back until we get the awareness of sacrifice. You understand? Is making sense? It's not through progeny, through wealth, or through any other thing that we attain immortality. It's only through sacrifice one becomes immortal. Na karmana, it's not through action. Na prajaya, it is not through progeny or multiplication. Na dhanena, not through wealth. None of these three things lead us to immortality. They only bind us. Now, it's very important to understand this. Na karmana, it is not through action itself. Then immediately people say, okay, let me not do any action. That's not what it is. Na karmana means any action with an intent of expectation has to absolutely bind us and it will bring us back. This is the theory of karma. So if you are engaged in action without the expectation, that is the beautiful one, because that is sacrifice. What is sacrifice? Engaging in an action without expecting something from it. That is sacrifice. 24 hours, which crazy people will sit and chant Rudram? Can you imagine? 24 hours, why somebody should sing bhajans, global Akhand bhajans? Why do we do that? Not because we are expecting anything out of it. That is sacrifice. That is absolutely sacrifice, right? It's a sacrifice in a very small way. But whatever action we do with expectation, whatever multiplication that we with expectation, the prajaya, what that is, when you give birth to your children, and this is for the parents and children, please close your ears. You got to close your ears now. We got to know that those children are not actually ours. There is an intent behind their creation. We are very simply guardians of these beautiful souls for whom there is something that the God has. Now you see, we get caught up in this maya. We get caught up in the maya that, oh, I am investing in my kid. Some people use this word. I am investing in my child. Investing? What nonsense is that? Who is investing in a child? Why? Because when they retire, they want some expectation. But no matter what you do, brothers and sisters, that ain't going to happen. So don't be caught up in the maya. Enjoy the action of doing what is best for them and not creating false expectations. Na prajaya. Why? Because if you keep acting with expectation about your kids, it's going to bind you. It binds us so much, and somebody was sharing this week. The fellow will be so blindly attached to the child, even if the child is such a, wasted protoplasm on the face of this earth. Or dog, yes. Then what happens is, the guy will come back as a dog to live with the, so the cycle repeats, no? Na prajaya, na dhanena. The greatest attachment is the dhanam, the wealth. Oh my God, right? Impossible. And how do you become immortal? Not through these things. Tyage amrutatvamanashuhu. It is only through sacrifice that one becomes immortal. Now, if this is the Vedic dictum, the Supreme Son of God has to demonstrate this, isn't it? And the God Himself has to demonstrate, isn't it? Because if they don't demonstrate that, then they are not living by what is actually a greatest value called sacrifice. Sacrifice is the greatest value. Sacrifice manifested in many different ways is human values. Let me be very clear about that. Sacrifice, when it is manifested in different ways, through speech, through looks, through action, through so many different things, becomes the 5 human values. Isn't it? So, what the Son of God decided to do is, He said, it is my Father's will that I shall offer myself in this sacrifice. And what that mantra is saying is, what was the previous mantra that was saying? Exactly that. Na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena, tyagena ike, amrutatva manashu. Tyagena ike, tyaga is sacrifice, eke, only through sacrifice one becomes immortal. Amrutatva manashu. So, yat purushena havisha. Then they decided to conduct this sacrificial fire. Deva yajnamatanvata. All the gods decided to conduct this sacrificial offering. And then what happened? Vasanto asya sidajyam. Vasanta, the spring, has become the ghee. And I explained all this, what it means last week. So if you need to know it, go back. It's on the YouTube and you will listen to it again. Well, Grishma is the summer, became the food. Sharat, which is the autumn, became the sticks, the fire sticks. Then we said they got the material now to do the yajna. Then they have to actually create the yajna kunda. And for that they said saptasya san paridhayaha. 7 things became the boundary of this sacrificial things. What are the 7 things I mentioned last week? 5 elements and sun and moon. 5 elements of the nature. The sun and the moon became the boundary of this sacrificial fire. Then I made a mistake last week. I said 3 sapta is 27. 3 sapta is 3 times 7 is 21. It is not 27. 3 sapta is now, sorry Meera, created all that work for you. And then 3 sapta is 21. We went through how many last week? 10. 50. We went to 15. We went to 19. Okay, good. So let's repeat the 19.
5 sense organs, 5 sense perception.
5. But now let's stop there. Somebody has to answer what the 5 sense organs are. Yeah. Nose, mouth, eyes, ears. Skin. Oh yeah, skin. We forget skin is an organ, isn't it? Skin is the largest organ of our body. Huh? Huh? By volume, yeah. Okay. Next, what are the 5 sense organs that create the 5 ways of perception? What are the ways we perceive? What is some big word, right? I know Nitin will ask, what is perception? How do you actually get information, knowledge? How do you get information? Nerves, no. Is one